Welcome back, weary travelers, to Alone in the Dark. We just finished up the Carnby side of the story, and now we're going to be moving on to the Emily side of the story. If you haven't seen the Carnby playthrough yet, I would highly recommend going back and watching it, because this Emily playthrough, we're going to be moving faster through the game just to collect all the lagniappes and to get more rounded off with the story. Because she talks more to the patients while Carnby dealt more with the dark man. So we're going to start saying things from her side of the story. I'll leave a link to watch it if you haven't yet. But let's get back into this game.
So, your uncle. What's wrong with him?
He's possessed.
As in the devil?
Something like that. He says a dark man is following him, watching him at all times.
What do you make of it?
It's nonsense, of course, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me. You see, it runs in my family.
Possession?
No, Detective. Deteriorating melancholy. Practically every member of the Hartwood family is driven mad before they grow old.
But Jeremy didn't kill himself. Is that why he's at Derceto?
Despite being convinced that he is truly possessed, he decided to put his last chips on Dr. Gray and his psychoanalysis, figuring he might stumble upon some cure.
You mentioned a letter.
I received a disturbing letter from Jeremy accusing the staff and all the other patients of being involved in some cult. And now they are also out to get him.
Could it be real? Or is it all just in his head?
It's a story he tells himself, Mr. Carnby. Anything to avoid the truth.
Which is?
That we're all terribly insignificant. That people mean so very little to one another. That there is no one out to get Jeremy Hartwood because he isn't worth getting.
Here we are.
We're back!
My uncle's not well, Mr. Carnby. I want to make sure he's all right.
Then what's my part in this? You couldn't get a cab?
I just wouldn't feel safe going alone. Did you bring a gun?
Yeah. You think it'll actually come to that?
No. But you might need to wave it around depending on how agreeable the staff will be.
What exactly are we gonna do when we find Jeremy?
I don't know. Let's just find him first.
I did love Carnby's playthrough, and he's a funny character. And just to recap, this is going to be a quicker playthrough. So if you want to see more in depth, then I would recommend the Carnby. But this time, we're going with Emily. I'm sorry, Carnby. You had your chance.
Hello?
It's so quiet. Where is everyone?
This is a big place. Maybe they're on the other side of the house.
Stay here. I'll have a look.
On the road again. So it seems like a lot's happening, like kind of like what happened with Carnby. Except this time he actually is the background character here. I should be able to get the flashlight over here.
What's this?
Like, not exactly a speed run, but we will kind of be like that. Alright, turn on the flashlight. Let's go. Just gonna double check. I wonder just how different her playthrough is from his. Hey there, little guy. Right, back in the garden. Oh, her gun is cute. I like it. If I remember correctly, there wasn't much. You.
I'll just take this.
Now Emily's gonna be drinking. Alright.
Every day your silence weighs a little heavier. It's been a difficult year for everyone, and many have lost all hope. I read in the papers about people suffering. Pictures of dust-covered landscapes without a drop of water. I wish I knew if you were still tending the earth, or if you had turned your back against us. I have started to look for help elsewhere. I pray you will tell me if I am going down a path that you find disagreeable. With help from Baptiste and Charlotte, I found comfort in the practice of the voodoo. I have long been skeptical of that Caribbean cult, but it's been of good use to me. It seems all harmless in my book. I say some words dreamt up by the Creoles, and I carry around a small pocket of gree-gree. Nothing of this is mentioned in the Bible, of course, but the French Quarter priestess tells me it's all connected. She says the Christian God is just one more perspective on the creator of things. That's what I like to think, but the other way around, that the spirits of her faith are just aspects of you, our Heavenly Father. I am so grateful for the words you gave Mr. Hartwood. We will sing your praises at St. John's Eve. The world will be blessed soon again. Only the sacrifices of the Old Testament compare to your demands. Let it be the truth. A mother of earth, wood, and dirt. A mother of 1,000 young.
Sacred sand, $1. Black cat oil, $1.50. Devil shoestrings, $0.25. That makes $2.75, madame.
What was that you were telling the doctor? A goat without horns. What does that mean?
Ah, you must have misheard me, madame. I said no such thing.
Please, I know I don't look like any of you, but I'm devout. I'm ready to do what it takes.
Do not be so eager to sacrifice the few things you have left, madame. Now please, leave my store.
A goat without horns.
like I said, if you haven't watched Carnby, recommend it because spoilers, big time. That's basically the housekeeper talking to the tree that they worship. The big bad guy. And like now that we kind of have like an inside look at the other side of the story, we can kind of understand more of what we look at. Gotta go around collecting everything. Because nothing really happens until we get to, like, the main area. So, like, I'll be mainly cutting out, like, if I'm just looting, unless I find, like, a lagniappe or something, like, very important. Not really. Like, I'll just be focusing mainly on, like, moving through the house and getting to the next objective. Like me collecting like bullets and whiskey. That should be locked.
I need the key.
More bullets. Granted, they do tend to be a little bit generous with the ammo. Is that a letter actually on? Okay, so this letter was here the first time. I just never picked it up.
Please do not touch the boiler. It is working after all. While the sabotage has caused a leak, only the decorative plate has been completely ruined. Let's wait for Mr. Chance to turn up and he can take a look at the leak. Mr. Waits.
Oh, this one. There's one that Grace leaves behind, which I think we might come into later.
That doesn't look safe.
I'll take your word for it. So yeah, there's a note that Grace is going to leave here later on that we got to pick up. That gives us more information. Locked? Yeah. Should be a couple things in here. Finally got our map. And we got the piazza key.
Oh, what's this?
That's where we gotta come back to that later. That's where the other piece of the puzzle is in the author's room.
Sunday, June 22nd. I spent all day looking for Jeremy. I should have cared for the others, but I'm scared that he will do something irreversible. Cassandra is upset that I didn't give her the latest shipment of pain medication that Waits brought from the post office yesterday. I would have given it to her, but the company didn't send a new key this time around, so the box is just sitting there on my desk. They must have figured we had plenty of their gimmicky keys by now. I only remember seeing one lately. Grace was playing with it inside the grand parlor. Unless it turns up by itself, it will have to wait. I have to figure out where Jeremy is. I think Jack knew something. That dog of his found a strange rot permeating the house. She's showing us, he said. Like those blots and streaks of fetid rot was talking to him.
Alright, so they're afraid that Jeremy's gonna interrupt the ritual. Locked. Locked.
It's wet shut.
You're gonna need to get something to remove that. I think this is... Yeah, this is the doctor's office, I'm pretty sure. That's locked too. Where to go? There we go. Here's the courtyard.
Whoa.
Alright. Let's get this game started.
Wait, don't.
That's new.
Excuse me? Do you know where I can find Jeremy Hartwood?
Of course not.
McCarthy, what are you doing? I told you not to lose sight of the girl.
Don't you worry, Mags. I'll find that little rascal.
Who are you people? What are you doing here?
I'm sorry about all this, but I'm looking for my uncle. His name is Jeremy Hartwood.
What are you doing, child? You shouldn't be alone. Go find McCarthy.
Who are you? Are you here for the Fey Dodo?
Go upstairs now.
My name is Emily Hartwood. I'm the niece of Jeremy Hartwood. This is Detective Carnby.
The police? Why are you here?
No, I'm a private investigator. Sorry to bother you. My client's worried about her uncle. He's a patient here at Derceto. If you don't mind, could you direct us where to find him?
No, I can't. Jeremy has gone missing. If you leave your information, I will make sure to contact you.
Wait, he ran away?
No, he won't leave the house. He's around here somewhere, and both of our orderlies are looking for him.
That's unacceptable. Where's Dr. Gray? I want to speak with him immediately.
Fine, I'll ask him. Wait here and don't touch anything.
Do you want to see Jeremy's room?
Can you show us?
Follow me.
Thank you. Strange kid.
Let's look around, see what we can find.
So this is already different from the last one, because with Carnby it was more like everybody was at the stairs and the head house lady is the one who yelled at us when we walked in. That's weird. Okay. They really gave this game like a replay factor. It's nice. It really is.
What kind of stuff are we looking for? I've never been part of an investigation before.
Letters, diaries, receipts, all sorts of notes.
Which did a good job of collecting most of those. Actually, am I? Oh, here, that's good. Okay, I was worried for a second. So we already have all the lagniappes we collected last time. So now on Emily's side of the story, we should be able to fill the rest of this out.
Every night the dark man stands opaque at the threshold of my room, counting the days until my spirit spills out of my tired shape. Only his pallid mask shelters my remaining sanity. Staring directly into the face of that demonic sultan would surely sunder time itself. Would he have looked the same to my father as he struggled for his life? Does his veiled face haunt my niece quite the same way? I wish so that I could rest my soul in that sunburnt convent of Tarawea. Would I find you there, Juan? Or Senora Perosi, back from the beyond? Every night I hide from him, moving from one misshapen memory to another. Scenes conjured out of fantasy and delirium. Places I struggle to even paint. I wish I understood your death, Signora. Is there anything I could do for you but bury you in that bleak necropolis? That triumphant chapel rising above the ledges and the oven vaults shall be your sepulchre, where you may rest, and I shall weep.
Okay, so we already know Perosi died, but now we're like, now that I'm seeing this stuff fresh, it now makes sense. This is the cemetery stuff. And then these are the 3 symbols for the puzzle to open the doors.
How did you first come to understand such things, Signora? How did you know that the battered boil in the basement would lead me to Lafayette Cemetery? Or how the old upstairs clock, with its astronomical motifs, would take me to that hateful mound outside of Claremont Harbor? Those are my memories, my past. Is there perhaps a chance, if ever so small, for me to see Tarawaya? Oh, I want that more than anything. Please, let my talisman take me there. Let me sit with Juan under his Bodhi tree. Despite having sold me that talisman, Miss Jackson, the voodoo priestess, revealed none of her secrets to me. That's why I had to travel to Tonka. Instead, she cruelly told Baptiste, my caretaker, that he would be betrayed and killed in the most awful way, that the one he loved would pierce his thigh with a sharp spear, and that he would be devoured by his own mother. What a terrible thing to say.
I think Batiste's like upper half was torn off by the tree.
The people of Derceto are becoming dangerous. They do not understand what they are doing. I must do something to stop them. I tried talking to Dr. Gray, but he confuses my worries. He's caught up in treating me. How can he expect evil to be cured with medicine and conversation? The orderlies, the housekeeper, and the patients are all deranged. They will call upon evil to enter this world. All will be lost. Everything. Unless I can find the clerk, Mr. Waite. He seems to be a clear-thinking man. Maybe Beauregard.
Okay, so we know that that's Batiste. That's Miss Lottie. That's Dr. Gray. That's the housekeeper. I think that's Mr. Waits, and that might be Beauregard, but I didn't meet these two, like him in the last playthrough. So I have no idea who those guys might be.
The dark man offered me a prison, and I accepted. I signed that miscarried contract and entered the dark pact. Everyone is safe, except for me.
Oh, are you kidding me? These are answers to every single one of the puzzles. Because this one right here, I spent too much time on it, the last one. Okay. So they literally gave you the answers. And I just spent my time just bumbling around.
I found a commonplace book.
What's that?
A notebook with all kinds of stuff in it. Do you know a place called Tarawaya?
Never heard of it. Is it close?
I've no idea. Just seems like it was a place Jeremy wanted to visit.
Good to know.
Okay. I don't know if I remember putting the painted tile in this early.
Have you ever seen anything like this? Looks like a talisman.
You mean like this one?
Can you find me a knife to cut the canvas? I want to take this with me.
You want to take the painting? Sure, I'll find one.
Interesting.
I found this tube as well. Should keep it safe for you. Do you want to carry it, or should I? Miss Hartwood? Emily?
I'll take it. Thank you.
We're done here, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know how to do any of this.
Listen, I think we should talk to Dr. Gray. He must know something about what's going on around here.
Okay. Let's do that.
Come on, I don't want to be here all night.
Yes, sir.
Detective Carnby? Where did...
And so it begins.
What on earth is happening? What is this place?